Welcome back to the Texas A&M Aggies here in the year 2029. I did play ahead a little bit, and if I'm not mistaken, I did not record and post these. So I'll show y'all what happened in the last few games as we are sitting here at number one in the nation, 12-0. Our first, by far, our best season ever. Um, You'll see the stats in a second, and it's crazy. But to start things off, recapping our season before, we had the 73-7 victory at Louisville, which really showed us how good Don Dorsey was going to be. He was 25 of 31 for 80% completion percentage, 439 yards, 5 passing touchdowns. Willie Lovett, his top receiver, was great. Then we had the close game against Oklahoma. We beat them. They had a rough end to their season, losing like 3 of their last 4. They finished 8-4. Louisville finished 6-6. That's a great win for us. Beat FCS 94-3, biggest win in school history. Beat Missouri 61-21. That's a bowl team. They're 2-6 in conference, 6-6 making a bowl game. 80-14 against Jayville State. They're not that good. 84-6 against 77-5 UTSA on the road. Mississippi State went 4-8. We beat them 62-16 in their place. We beat South Carolina, a team that was ranked for the entire season up until this week when they lost to Clemson. We beat them 59-10 in their place. They are 8-4. Beat Arkansas 70-28. They're 5-7. You beat Tennessee 58-10 in their place. They're 5-7. We did draw a very easy conference schedule aside from, we just drew a very easy conference schedule. You beat Vanderbilt 73-20. They're 3-9. And then you beat Texas 41-20 at home to end the year. What a season. Don Dorsey is looking the part of, beating Dylan Raiola out to be the greatest college quarterback of all time. 64 touchdowns to just 10 interceptions. 5,300 yards in the regular season is utterly insane. This is the greatest, this might be the greatest collegiate athlete we've ever seen. Taking a massive jump up. He's got 73 total touchdowns in 12 games. Gregory Ginn, our backup, I'm very excited about. He's been next up this entire series. And when we saw him this year, he was great. We saw a lot of him. He was 8 of 18 in his first 2 seasons with 1 touchdown and 2 picks. This year, 73% completion, 606 yards, and 8 touchdowns, no picks, adding 1 on the ground. Granted, he does play against backups. Like, he plays when we're up by 60. But he is a starting caliber quarterback. The running back room was very solid. You had Rafael Biggers, who emerged as the #1 guy as an underdog. Like, he never really showed anything great first 2 seasons with us. Averaged just under 6 yards a carry, had 121 yards rushing, and 45 receiving. This year, he came out and, he was our #1 running back. 510 rushing yards, 9 touchdowns with 180 receiving yards, and 2 receiving scores. That's over 11 total touchdowns for really a guy who we never planned to take the field for us. He was a low-end 4-star recruit with normal development. And now he's probably looking like a good role player his senior year. Ben Clemens, the young sophomore, former underdog transfer from Houston, put up similar production to how he did with the Cougars. Touched the ball a lot less and gained a lot more yards per carry. Had like about the same amount of total yards. He had 11 total scores as well. Then you had Cornell Anthrop, very disappointing in my opinion, normal development. He might be a guy who transfers, to be honest. He was horrible his first year in 12 carries. Last year showed a ton of promise towards the end of the year. And this year it just all fell apart again. 3.8 yards per carry and 5 touchdowns for Cornell Anthrop. Not great. Kiki Alati also did not impress me this season. Yeah, he's got like 3 yards per carry for his career. He is just so slow. He is the kind of power back. He is not an Amani Ogba, Le'Veon Moss type guy where he's a power bruiser and he's fast. He's just so slow. So, so slow. Then you had Glenn Stye, another young guy, redshirt freshman, just 30 yards and 8 carries, 3 catches, had a touchdown receiving. He is whatever in the run game. Receiving, Willie Lovett, insane. 1,950 yards and 23 touchdowns. Max LaBelle, insane. 1,600 yards and 18 touchdowns. Both these guys are going to be top picks. Reggie Johns, 801 yards, 13 touchdowns. As he is just a super consistent, solid guy. If he comes back for his senior year, he might ball out for us next year. Jabu Rome, I like this guy a lot. I think he's going to be the next Max LaBelle next season. Celeste Miles didn't really take a big jump just because our receiver core is so good. Yeah, he actually fell down quite a bit. Did not get near as many looks as he did the first few seasons. But he'll be back next year, and he will likely be a bigger part of this roster. You had Clemens and Biggers contributing out of the backfield. And some smaller guys who played in those garbage time situations like George Mandarino, Leo Charles. Yodi Armstrong, one of the few people still here from year 1. He was our starter at tight end in year 3. And then you've also got Dylan Galloway, our third string tight end. He's just, yeah, we got him from App State after 2026. And he's put up about 230 yards, 1 touchdown for us over those 3 seasons. Not bad. We'll see him go. We had our best year on the offensive line by far. We only gave up 4 sacks all year with an extremely unproven group. Nobody here was a returning starter. Gideon Chukwuma, insane. 79 pancakes, 1 sack. David Fasano, 52 pancakes, 1 sack as a redshirt freshman. David Wusu as a true freshman, 66 pancakes, 1 sack. Tyron Tompkins, the transfer, who had the most experience out of anybody, 2-year starter at Temple before coming over to Aggieland. Absolute beast, by the way, from Provo, Utah. 49 pancakes, no sacks. Tyler Way is another transfer. And then we'll talk about some of these other guys later. Enrique Cardoza is a young guy who we like. Hayden Lund, a former 5-star who just hasn't developed. We saw him play a little bit. But the other guy I was going to talk about was Tyler Way. We saw him play a little all over the O-line. He was a starter at Marshall last year, role player at Northwestern before that. Now he had his best year ever with us as our main starting center. That's another super impressive thing about Tompkins is he was playing as a guard for most of the year. He was playing out of position, which is crazy to see how successful he was. And then defensively, very good as well. Leading the team in tackles was Marvin Cruikshank. And Demontre Trapuka, one of our defensive team captains, got hurt after just 2 games, or 3 games. We have been without this guy for a very, very long time. We were also out without our top D tackle, Lamar Callis, for 3 weeks out of the season. But we were able to get through that as well. TFL's Dante Simpson led the way with 16 as a D tackle. Landon Rink is here with 11. Nicholas Clayton, Marvin Cruikshank. Sacks, we had a lot of guys with a few. 5.5 for Nicholas Clayton led the team. I said this guy was going to be solid. He's been all over the place. We were his 4th school. But he's always had production. Redshirted with us last year, but at Bowling Green, 4.5 sacks. Boston College, 3 sacks. Wisconsin, 2.5. He's always been in the mix wherever he's been. And this year, he had the best year of his career, being in the mix with us, as expected. Dante Simpson had a career year. Landon Rink was a guy we also got out of the portal after that 2026 season. He played for the first time with us this year in the mix. He was very solid. 4.5 sacks. Julius Gilliam, 4 sacks. The sophomore redshirt, former 5-star. You love to see it. Cruikshank had 3. Adam Shovlin, the transfer from Stanford, who was our kind of our leading returning sack producer, had 6 a year ago with the Cardinal, 3-year starter with them. Came over to our squad and came in as a backup at the end of games and really showed out. Had 2.5 sacks. For the senior Zach Gillen, 2 sacks, 1.5 for Clarence Mayo, the utility Mike linebacker, who quickly became one of the best players on our team. The transfer from Kentucky also played at Ohio State. This guy's a really good player, and I think he is going to be a dog for us next season, even though I think he might transfer. Jamal Priest, very good when he came into games. I believe he's a transfer. Yeah, the transfer from Nebraska. Didn't get as much playing time with us. And then, yeah, the youngster Brian DeLuca, the elite 5-star, got a sack. Bob Austin, Forrest Bragg, even the former #1 recruit, got half a sack as a corner. Even he had 2 picks as well. Dion Gathers, the transfer safety, underclassman, had 4 picks, 3 for Cruikshank, 2 for Mayo, 2 for Bragg, 2 for Johnson, who is going to be a top pick in the draft. This is 3 straight years where Rashad Johnson Jr. has just been an elite player for us. I'd say this year wasn't as good as 2027 or 2028, but this guy is still, aside from his true freshman year, we really developed this guy into the player he is, and I'm really excited to see him go in as our top drafted secondary guy. We've had a plethora of corners and safeties taken in the draft. This year is probably going to be our weakest, but we will have Alex Opplinger and Rashad Johnson Jr. going. We'll return Forrest Bragg. We got Telvin Winston, who might leave, might not. I think Winston will probably come back for another season. I wouldn't be surprised if he left, though. He's a very solid player. But I think he's the kind of guy who would certainly benefit from another year at the college football level. Taking a look at the conference standings, we obviously are #1 in the SEC. LSU is a close #2. Very close. They have been winning some big games. You barely beat Auburn. You beat Alabama. You barely beat Oklahoma. They've played some teams close. And you got crushed by Georgia in week 9. That's your only loss. You barely beat Arkansas. But this is still a great team. Incredible defense for LSU. Look how good this defense is. Aside from the Georgia game, they have been a very disciplined group. Georgia's on the outside looking in. They had the 2 losses in conference late in the year. You were undefeated until week 11 when you drop 1 to Oklahoma. Then you drop 1 to South Carolina. The Gamecocks have really had your number. You get back on the winning side of things against Georgia Tech, but you still fall just short. But at the beginning of the year, this team looked amazing. Aside from the Missouri game, they were rolling. South Carolina loses a pair out of conference, but they're still very good. Texas is here. Ole Miss with a nice year. Oklahoma had a tough end to things, but you're 8-4, not horrible. You were in the Natty last year. Florida getting better, 8-4, not as good as they were the first few years of the series. Kentucky, weird year, you're still mid at 6-6. Alabama, the rails fell off for the Tide. You had a tough schedule, but it doesn't matter. You beat Notre Dame, they went 8-4. You beat Texas on the road. You start things off looking very good, but then it falls apart. You lose in a close one to Oklahoma State. You lose to LSU. You beat some cupcake opponents. Then you lose to Kentucky at home. That's where it falls off. 1-point loss to Kentucky. You get blown out by Florida. Bye week, you get blown out by Ole Miss. You beat 2 of the crappiest teams in the conference, and then you lose to Auburn in the Iron Bowl to finish 6-6. Very rough year for the Tide. And then, yeah, you got your Vandy's, your Missouris, your Arkansas, Tennessee, Mississippi State. They're just bad. Those are bad teams. Moving on to the Sun Belt, you got Southern Miss with their senior quarterback, Kamario Taylor, with a really great year. UL Monroe, not so much. In the ACC, the usual suspects, Clemson, Duke, UNC. The Tar Heels were the #1 team in the nation, the reigning champs with a very nice start to your season. In the non-con, you beat South Carolina in a shootout week 1. Then you crush Penn State at home. Penn State's 10-2. That's the best win on your resume. You go to Florida State, you barely beat them. You beat Duke. These are some tough games you're winning. Your offense scoring 50 points a game. You scored 40 points like every game, but you lose to Mississippi State. That's a horrible look. They went 0-8 in conference. You lose to Pitt on the road 2 weeks in a row, and yeah, the wheels just fall off. You get back on the winning side of things, you beat NC State, and you're in the conference championship against Clemson. Funny that 11-1 Duke isn't playing in the conference championship, but two 10-2 squads are. Pitt, Florida State, West Virginia, Syracuse with all very successful seasons for their program standards. Louisville went 6-6, Boston College. UCF with a nice year, 7-5. Wake, not a terrible year for their standards, 5-7. They've just been horrible since that 11-win year 1. Miami, wheels fell off, continues to have horrible quarterback play, and now they're on the outside looking in. They were one of the surefire teams that was going to be in the SEC in 2031. Now, I don't know if they get that invite. I'm giving that to Duke. I'm giving it to North Carolina over Miami right now. You started things off with a very nice win over Auburn, but then it just got worse and worse. You lose to Temple 2 weeks later. Temple is 11-1 in the college football playoff picture right now. You beat NC State by 3. They're not good. Then you get crushed by Clemson. You lose to Syracuse. You lose at your new rival UCF. You lose against another rival Florida State. You come out of the bye week. You get crapped on by Pitt. You beat Old Dominion, a cupcake opponent. You lose at Duke. And you beat Cincinnati with nothing on the line between two teams eliminated from bowl eligibility to finish the year 5-7. Got to be a coaching change there in Miami. And then you got your Virginia Techs, your Georgia Tech, Virginia, NC State, and Cincinnati, who all just had disaster seasons. In the American, Temple and North Texas continue to stand out. These might be two teams that get promoted to like the ACC in 2031 with that big shakeup. I could easily see Temple, who's a former Big East member. That's a larger conference. I could see them warranting a promotion. Tulane is a team that almost got promoted 2 years back. They went 5-7. Rough year for the Green Wave. And then Army. Oh my God. 1-10. You got to beat Navy to consider that not the worst season ever. In the Big 12, you got Utah, Texas Tech, and Oklahoma State at the top, all dominating. Iowa State and SMU and Baylor also have successful years. BYU's back in the mix at 8-4. Colorado once again squeaks into a bowl game at 6-6. K-State misses out. Boise State's in. Memphis barely misses. Houston. The Big 12 is kind of as it always is, where everybody gets like 3 wins in conference, and everybody's going to drop a few. It's just there's no like big dogs in the Big 12, and there's not really any bottom feeders other than Arizona and maybe Memphis and Houston. In the Big Ten, you got Michigan and Oregon and Penn State and Ohio State. These 4 are always going to be your big dogs, always in the playoff. Ohio State had a better year this year than they did last year with Don Dorsey or the year before that with Dylan Raiola, which is just insane. They're 99s across the board, finally playing to their overall. Washington and Indiana also could make it in the playoff if they get lucky. Nebraska and USC both at 8-4 here. But just taking a look at Michigan, their schedule, they're the top team in the Big Ten right now. You lost to South Carolina. I want to see South Carolina's schedule. They knocked off some insane schools, but they just still, every year, they manage to have 4 losses. You get back on track, you barely beat Illinois. You barely beat Indiana on a huge college game day atmosphere. You beat Stanford. You crush Iowa. You barely beat Washington. That's a great team. You barely beat Maryland. You crush Michigan State. You beat Earl Rochelle and Minnesota in the rivalry game. And then you lose to the Buckeyes to end the year. You're still first place in the Big Ten. Then you got Oregon. Oregon, you start things off hot against your Cupcakes. You lose at home against Penn State. But then you get back on the winning side. You beat your rival Washington. You beat Northwestern. Beat Maryland, a team that is 2-10, but played both Michigan and Oregon extremely close. Beat UCLA. Barely beat Earl Rochelle in Minnesota. Crushed Purdue. Beat Nebraska. You beat Oklahoma in the non-con in an ugly 14-12 game. And now you're playing Michigan. Ohio State, they got off to a great start against their cupcake opponents. Then you lose at Nebraska. You lose against Indiana, but every other game was a win. You really only played one other good team, though. That's Michigan. Very easy schedule for the Buckeyes. And then at the bottom, you got Rutgers, who's getting demoted in 2031. They're a horrible program. Northwestern, Maryland, Minnesota, Earl Rochelle only goes 3-9. In the Conference USA, you had Liberty, who was amazing. The Flames possibly looking on the outside in for a college football playoff spot. You played Coastal Carolina. They're 10-2. That's your only loss. Everybody else you beat, you upset Power 5 opponents, Virginia Tech and Houston. And then you run through conference play. You'll play Missouri State in the conference title game. The Bears have just had their best year ever at 9-3 by far. Everyone else with a disaster season. In the Independents, Cal 9-3, Notre Dame 8-4, Stanford 6-6. In the MAC, you had Toledo at 10-2. They're just a perennial top team in this conference. They wouldn't be that in any other conference, but in this conference, they run things. In the Mountain West, Hawaii and Arkansas State are the top dogs. Arkansas State in their first year in the conference, trying to win it. Whereas Air Force continues to struggle at the bottom. Pac-12, San Diego State, Oregon State back on the winning side of things with their best year yet. Utah State, very weird year for the Pac-12. UNLV with a rough first year in the conference at 3-9. And then it's back to the SEC. We'll go to conference championship weeks, where we will hopefully take down the Tigers and remain undefeated in this perfect season. Conference Championship Week is here. Missouri State plays Liberty. The CUSA is a conference where there's always parity in the conference championship. It feels like the underdog always wins. Could Missouri State win their first conference title as an FBS team? Oregon State, San Diego State in the Pac-12 is a fun one. Arkansas State, Hawaii in the Mountain West. Ball State, Toledo. Toledo's 10-2 and ranked. Ball State is 6-6. This would be the biggest upset in all the conference championship games. Texas Tech and Utah. The winner of this might get into the playoff. The loser is probably out of the rankings. Southern Mississippi, Coastal Carolina. Two very, very good Sun Belt teams. Top 5 battle between us and LSU is the big fish. We're in our third straight year in the conference championship. North Texas and Temple battle for the American in a game with playoff implications. Oregon and Michigan battle of the top 10 teams. North Carolina and Clemson. The reigning champion Tar Heels, without Bill Belichick, need to win this game if they want to be in the playoff. We're going to hop in against the LSU Tigers to try and pull off a dub in the game of the week. It's the Tigers versus the Aggies. Don Dorsey, possibly he is the greatest college athlete we have ever seen. So dominant here in his sophomore redshirt year, transferring to Texas A&M. Imagine if Earl Rochelle had never been kicked out of the program for performance-enhancing drugs. We never would have offered the record-breaking NIL deal to Dorsey, and he likely would have stayed at Ohio State or gone to a team like LSU or Texas even. But here he is with our squad having the greatest season any quarterback has ever had. Here's the give, it's Biggers. Raphael Biggers past the first down marker. A lot of Dorsey's stats have already eclipsed that of Dylan Raiola and Joe Burrow, who were the previous best single-season passers. Here's Biggers on the other carry. It'll get just one. So the Aggies using the run game early, which is not characteristic in their air raid offense. Here's Celessi Miles. Miles with a rare catch over the middle. It's a first down. In this new offense, we really haven't ever looked this way. Here's a guy who had 700 receiving yards over the past 2 years. This year, he did not have near as many catches. Dorsey snaps at 7 seconds on the play clock. Instantly rolls out. Thought about Johns. Now he'll run. Juke move, takes a big hit. He'll pick up 7 on the play. DeAndre Jennings is a guy to watch out for. 7 sacks on the defensive line. He is a big-time playmaker. Here's Dorsey rolling out. Likes the look. He's got LaBelle, who picks up the first down. Max LaBelle, who has 1,600 receiving yards this season. He was our only 1,000-yard receiver a year ago. And there he goes. Down goes Dorsey. Harry Cleveland with the sack. It's 2nd and 22. Dorsey snapping double coverage for Reggie Johns. Doesn't like the look. He'll throw. Johns will pick up just 2 on the catch. LSU, this is a very good defense for the Tigers. This is how they win games defensively. Thought about Lovett. Now he'll go. Dorsey on 3rd and 20. The quarterback scramble. Tyron Tompkins and Celessi Miles, that's 2 solid players for us, are injured. One on the O-line and then our starting tight end. Here's the draw for Biggers. It's blown up. Loss of 3. The big D tackle, Lou Inroy, who has 8 sacks and 12 TFLs on the year. Breaking down Dorsey, snapping it. Doesn't know where to go. He'll check it down for Clemens. Ben Clemens picks up 4. Now it's 3rd and 9. Texas Tech beats Utah in the Big 12 championship. They will likely be in the playoffs. Here's the snap. The throw. It is caught by LaBelle. Evades a defender and then gets inside the 5 at the 4-yard line. You got the speedy scrambler Austin Carlisle, the fastest quarterback in college football, who's leading LSU. 5th-year player transferred in from Houston several years ago and waited his turn. Now he's starting and leading the Tigers to their best season since that 2019 national championship win a decade ago. Here's the throw for Willie Lovett. This could put him over 2,000 receiving yards on the season. Dorsey connects with Lovett, and he's 6 of 6 passing today. Here's the throw. It's picked off. Dorsey turns it over. And LSU will take over. Dorian Daniel with the interception. Aggies get it back after Clarence Mayo forced him to cover the fumble. Now on 3rd and 7, Dorsey snapping and throwing. It is caught by Lovett. Middle 4th and 2, we will punt it away. LSU now moving it, but nowhere to go. Like I said, this will almost certainly be our lowest scoring game of the season, because this LSU defense is the best one we've matched up against by far. Our other lowest scoring games, we still dropped 40 against Texas and Oklahoma. In other games, we dropped 70 to 90 points. Here's the spin move from Clemens. First down by the receiving back who transferred in from Houston. Clemens, the sophomore. And what did I tell you? Missouri State beats Liberty. This is now, I think, every year where the Conference USA underdog has won the conference championship. Oregon crushes San Diego State. Arkansas State beats Hawaii. They're Mountain West champions in their first year. Fun conference championship week so far. Here's the play action. Dorsey throwing play. Thought about taking off. Then threw it away. Eric Mance, the pass rusher, is injured. Dorsey will give it to Biggers. Rafael Biggers picks up 4. Now it's 3rd down. Big play for Dorsey. He'll snap it. He'll throw. It is broken up. Intended for Johns. It's a 54-yard attempt for Sosa, who nails it. Jamie Sosa with one of the longest field goals of his career. Then we got a touchdown because I didn't even know we were on offense. We're up 17-3. LSU gets a touchdown right before half, 17-10. Now the offenses are finally starting to do something. Dorsey on first. Looks for Biggers. It's caught. They pick up 5 on the play. The Aggies run up tempo. LSU changing their defensive look. 53 seconds to play in the half. Dorsey feeling the pressure. Going on the run. It's LaBelle. Makes the grab, but doesn't get anything to gain. 3rd and 5. Here's the snap. Looking in LaBelle's direction again. He picks up the first. Aggies move the chains and call a timeout. They'll think about this play call, trying to get into field goal range to once again extend their lead to multiple possessions. This is by far the biggest test we've faced this year. We got really lucky in our conference slate. And Dorsey now is sacked. Eric Mance is hurt again, but he brought us down with the sack before 2nd and 23. Lovett is open. He'll make the grab. Now we'll take a timeout. 3rd and 16 for the Ags. Got to make a play here, and you got to look deep. Billy Lovett, Max LaBelle have been some of the best deep receivers of all time this season. Good blocking on the run. It is picked off again. Another interception thrown by Dorsey. LSU with a chance to tie it up. Mohamed Idonije, one of the top players in the country. So here out of halftime, we're only up by 4. And a win, improve to 13-0. Here's Biggers. Biggers gets crushed by Bobby Ruggins. Second and 4 to give. It's Ben Clemens. Clemens picking up the first down on the ground. The Aggies being very effective in the run game here to start the second half. Dorsey's thrown 2 interceptions. Made a lot of mistakes today, but that's a quick pass to Clemens. Eric Mance, take a break, bro. Stop getting injured. Here's the snap. Thought about giving it to Lovett. Still nowhere to look. He'll throw it to the ground. You can tell this is the best defense we've played against because Dorsey looks off. He's not having a good game. 3rd and 9. Dorsey snapping. The throw, it's Lovett. Lovett will get just 2 on the play. We will punt it back to LSU. Carlisle and company. They won't do anything. Like I said, it's been a defensive battle. A great game this far. Here's the snap. Dorsey, scramble, quarterback spy. Yeah, he's going to get sacked. It's 2nd and 11. After Dorsey's failed attempt at a scramble. Now we'll snap it, lobbing it up for LaBelle, who can't get it. He overthrew him. And that's something they've run all year long. They've got it up defenses with that connection. This time it just wasn't there. Here's Reggie Johns, open over the middle of the field. Johns is off to the races, and this is going to change the tides of the game. Reggie Johns with an 81-yard touchdown. That's the longest play of his Aggie career. For our slot receiver, the former Toledo guy. And we now go up by 11. The Tigers trying to respond, and they do. They get the 2-point conversion. They're within 3. We're in the mid to late 3rd quarter. Dorsey needing to sling it for another score. Here he's got LaBelle deep. Can he get him? And it's knocked away. Gideon Chukwuma, our top offensive lineman, appears to be injured as well. Dorsey snaps it. The RPO was bobbled up on both sides. Leland was in there for the TFL. Now on 3rd and 12, what do? Dorsey scrambling off, thought about Miles, he'll run. Dorsey picking up the first down, staying in bounds and moving the chains is Don Dorsey. He has 6 carries for 33 yards as a quarterback today. 1st and 10, Dorsey, halfback draw, it's Biggers. Biggers picks up 5. Play action pass. Dorsey throwing it. Caught by Biggers. Nope, dropped. He took a big hit and couldn't hang on to a football out of the backfield. Now it's 3rd and 5 from midfield. We snap it. The throw over the middle, it's Lovett. Willie Lovett has plenty of speed, and he gets it down to the 36. Big gain for Dorsey, who's still in his worst game of his season by far. His 20 of 29 passing. He's been sharp. Here's Lovett again. Takes it and turns it upfield. 1st down Aggies. And that will take us to the end of the 3rd quarter. Only 10 minutes of football left to play as the Aggies and Tigers duel it out in a rivalry conference championship. Raphael Biggers picks up a huge gain. It's a 12-yard run, the longest of the day for Biggers. Gabi Rome checks in at wide receiver. One of our young playmakers. Dorsey hit as he throws. He ran into a sack, but at the last minute was able to find Max LaBelle open. Couldn't get it there. 2nd and 10. Great personnel for LSU. Biggers finds his way through the blocks. It's going to be 5 yards. Sets up 3rd and 5 from the 8-yard line. We want to score here as a touchdown. Still only puts us up by 6. Here's the snap. Dorsey to Johns. Johns has enough for the 1st, but he's not in the end zone just yet. 1st and goal. Ben Clemens at running back. The snap, the give. Clemens is blown up. It's a loss of 1. Reggie Johns injured on the play. He's got over 100 yards receiving today. That's not good to see. Dorsey, the give. It's Biggers. Walks in for the score. Raphael Biggers with the touchdown that just put us up by 10. LSU gets us the ball back, and now it's time to start chewing clock. With 7 minutes to play in the game, up by multiple scores, we just need to hang on to this lead. This game of this season. Here's the give. Biggers. 3rd and 6. Sheriff Bowie injured on the play. He'll come out of the game. Cornell Anthrop comes in for us at running back. There's a throw. It's caught. Willie Lovett in the middle of the field. That's our top receiver. With that catch, who knows? He might have just broken the single-season receiving yards record. Here's the give. Clemens. Ben Clemens gets this 3 in the play. The Aggies will continue to chew clock. Just over 5 minutes left. Here's the give. It's Anthrop. Cornell Anthrop going backwards. Losing a yard. He's been really disappointing this year. Clock continues to chew. Here's the snap. Oh no, Dorsey going down with the sack. It's the 4th of the night for LSU. That's as many as we gave up all year, I think. Like, it's been a rough night for the Aggie O-line that's been so good all season long. The Tigers won't get it on 4th. A long drive for LSU ends with nothing. And we have just 40 seconds before we win the game. LSU with all their timeouts, though. Clemens says, "Get off me." Timeout Tigers as Ben Clemens fights for extra yardage. Dorsey to give. It's Clemens. This time they got him. Dropped for a loss. Brings up 3rd and medium. 3rd and short at 3rd and 3. Big play here. Crowd is loud. The give. It's Cornell Anthrop Cornell Anthrop up the middle. A huge gain. It's a 12-yard pickup. Anthrop with the biggest run of his career. Aggies switching their personnel. Miles now moves to the right side. Here's the give. Anthrop again. Oh my God. There he goes. Down the sideline. And that's the dagger. Texas A&M is going to win the SEC 31-21 over LSU. They are 13-0. Perfect. They're in 2029 going into the college football playoffs. It's the fourth time in 5 years that the Aggies will make an appearance in the playoffs, and the first time that they are undefeated, the second time that they will have a first-round bye. The Aggies have not won a playoff game. Yeah, he just set the national single-season receiving yard record. Willie Lovett is so good. National passing touchdowns record. Don Dorsey and Willie Lovett, the greatest quarterback-receiver duo of all time. Of course, he reset all these records. And we are SEC champions for the second straight season. SEC Offensive Player of the Week goes to Reggie Johns, who did get hurt there at the end. We'll see if he's okay. He is. He is good to go for the playoff, which is looking like this, revealing the college football playoff bracket. We are number 1. We will face the winner of Georgia, Oklahoma State in the Cotton Bowl. The other first-round matchups are number 5 Oregon against number 18 North Texas, who beat Temple in the American Athletic Championship. Georgia plays Oklahoma State, Texas Tech plays Ohio State, and Penn State plays LSU. That game will feed into Duke in the Orange Bowl. Clemson will face the winner of Tech and Ohio State in the Peach Bowl. We are in the Cotton Bowl. And Michigan faces Oregon or North Texas in the Verbo Fiesta Bowl. We do have a first-round bye this first week because we're the number 1 team in the nation, because we won the SEC. We'll see what happens. Don Dorsey wins the Walter Camp, obviously. Show me the Heisman. The Maxwell. Yep, there he is. Don Dorsey wins the Heisman the second straight year, and Aggie has won the Heisman. Of course, Willie Lovett wins the Fred Biletnikoff. And Don Dorsey wins the Davy O'Brien. Oh my God. Taking a look at the award winners. The Maxwell is just an extension of the Heisman. Oh my goodness. All of our players were here. Bryce Baker. Julian Lewis had a better year than I thought. Carson Boyd. Treston McMillan is a great player. He's really developed at Western Kentucky. 4-year starter. Yeah, wow, Treston McMillan is really good. Christian Sweat, 1-year wonder. Wow, Jeff Overton, 28 rushing touchdowns this year. Keelan Russell is here. Yeah, he was solid. The Bear Bryant Coach of the Year is Clayton Hawker. We are 5th in the highest non-small school team. The O'Brien goes to Dorsey. Wow, Adam Schobel is here. Very interesting. Missouri State guy making the O'Brien. The Bednarik is Caleb Smith with 14 sacks. Marvin Cruikshank is here in the top 10. The Nagurski, Cruikshank is at 8th. Anyone for the Thorpe? Nope. Nobody for the Walker. The Biletnikoff, we had 1 and 2. The Lombardi, Dante Simpson was at 10th. The Unitas, obviously, we don't have any senior quarterbacks. Edge rusher of the year. We just had a lot of rotating guys, so we don't have anybody standing out. Nobody for the Outland. Nobody for the Mackey. Colin Klein is 9th for the Broyles. Cruikshank 3rd for the Butkus. Mayo 10th. Remington, we had 2 guys. Tyler Way at 4th and Tompkins, oh my. And Tompkins at 7th. The Graza goes to Joey Cantwell from Syracuse. We don't kick the ball. We don't punt the ball, so nobody's ever going to win this. The Jet, Johns was 3rd last year. He's 6th this year. And the Sean Alexander Award, the Freshman of the Year, goes to Tremaine Bigsby. Great year for Bigsby at San Diego State, leading them to a conference championship. 33 touchdowns, 6 picks. Legend Fogg from Hawaii. A lot of small school guys here. A lot of small school guys. But yeah, not only did we have the Heisman winner, but we had the runner-up and the 4th place guy, Max LaBelle. That is insane. That is genuinely crazy. I don't even know, like, who's going to offer me a job? Nobody. They don't even, like, I'm not even, yeah, why on earth would I go? Did Deion Sanders get fired? Still have Bateman and Klein, who've been here since day 1. Alrighty. We do have a bye week, so we're going to sim ahead. I want to win. I want to win the Natty. I want to win it all. Please. We get Georgia in the Cotton Bowl. So it looks like the Bulldogs beat Oklahoma State, I think was their competitor in that game. So Georgia does get the win. We'll take a look at, so we'll play the Bulldogs in the postseason for, I feel like we played them twice in the conference championship. Played them in the regular season a couple of times before as well. Oregon crushes North Texas. They're in the Fiesta Bowl. Georgia shuts out Oklahoma State 41-0. Texas Tech beats Ohio State by 1. Penn State beats LSU by 8. So it's Clemson, Texas Tech in the Peach Bowl. Penn State, Duke in the Orange. Texas A&M, Georgia in the Cotton Bowl, by far the best game. And then Oregon, Michigan, a rematch of the conference championship from 2 weeks ago in the Fiesta Bowl. Very, very fun matchups here in week 2 of the college football playoffs. I want to see this Oregon game because Josh Ivey is a great quarterback. He was horrible against Oregon. That's going to drop his draft stock a little bit. All right. What are my job offers looking like? Is it better than Maryland's head coach? Nope. Not better than any of my staff leave for better coaching jobs? Nope. Freddie Kitchens is the new OC at, anyways, head coach. What's happening? Actually, we'll see this at the end. Like, it doesn't matter yet. All right, playing against Georgia. The Aggies and the Bulldogs in the game of the week. In the Cotton Bowl in Dallas. Jerry World, Georgia and A&M facing off for the first time in the Cotton Bowl for a spot in the Final Four of the college football playoffs. 'Cause. Here we are. Already in opposing territory at the 47. Here's the give. Raphael Biggers. Biggers powering forward. It's a 2-yard gain. Micah Strickland on the tackle. 2 years ago, Georgia had an amazing team. They went 16-0, won the Natty. There's the throw. Incomplete, intended for Lovett. This year at 11-2, they're looking to win again. The Bulldogs were a team that started out 9-10-0. Then they had 2 losses. That was to South Carolina and Oklahoma. There's Lovett. So even though we had great field position, we won't do anything with it. Down the field goes Georgia. The Dogs aren't going to get anything. 1st and 10 for Dorsey. He will give it to Biggers. Biggers sheds a tackler. Only gets 2. Dorsey snapping it. Feeling the pressure, and he goes down. Sacked by Todd Robinson. Yeah, you can just tell that this offensive line played some easier opponents in the regular season. Now they're showing they're not as disciplined as we thought. There's a throw. It is knocked away from Jabu Wan. The intended receiver, Brett Foxworth. Great name. Lane coverage. And here with a minute left, nobody's scored. Our offense is the greatest of all time, and we haven't scored. Here's the give. Clemens. Ben Clemens with a 7-yard gain. Dorsey snapping it, screening it for Biggers. Biggers, juke move, powering forward. Will be 3rd down and inches. Ben Clemens checks in the running back. Give it to him. Clemens has the post. I'll take us to the end of the first quarter. Scoreless between the Bulldogs and the Aggies. Dorsey snapping and throwing. It's LaBelle. Won't get it. Next, LaBelle drops it. 2nd and 10. Here's the give for Cornell Anthrop. Anthrop loses a yard. 3rd down and 11. We haven't done anything offensively today. The team looks horrible. Here's the throw for Miles. He'll get 4. Once again, we'll have to give it up. Very early on in the drive. What is this? What am I watching? This is not Texas A&M offense. It's 0-0 here in the second. Anthrop with the juke move. He's off to the races. The biggest gain of the day for the Aggies as Cornell Anthrop moves the chains with his legs. How else he would move the chains? He would run. Here's the snap. Lovett is wide open. He drops it. Another drop. Aggies getting killed by drops right now. We've had one from each of our top guys. Here's the give. It's Biggers. Biggers. Aggies keeping the ball on the ground right now because Georgia's played such good pass coverage. We're on 3rd and 3. They'll look to the air. Dorsey snapping it. The throw. Johns. Can he hold on? No, he can't. Another drop. It bounces away from Reggie Johns. And it's still 0-0. How? What is happening? Georgia is holding the best offense of all time to no points. Here's the snap. Willie Lovett is open. He'll make the grab, and this is going to end the scoreless drought. Willie Lovett, who now has like 2,100 receiving yards this year. The greatest receiver of all time. Transferred in from Florida. Just like Don Dorsey transferred in from our school. Oh my God, really? This has got to be a 99 touchdown. Yep. Go. Max LaBelle. All the way. 99 yards. It's a 99-yard catch from Max LaBelle. That might be the biggest pass that might be the longest pass in college football history. as the Aggies breaking out the lead here near the end of the quarter. It's 14-0. Texas A&M and Georgia. We're in the playoffs. Dorsey snapping. Once again finding the open man. Uh-oh. That one is picked off. Georgia gets the interception. Micah Strickland has been their best player today. He's been all over the field. Got a TFL, got a sack, got a hit. Quick pass, it's Anthrop. Now Anthrop getting some play here in the college football playoffs. Here's a quick pass to the tight end, Miles. Miles, one of the quicker tight ends in the country, won't get anything on this play. 3rd and 5 for Dorsey. Aggies up 14 zilch. Dorsey to run. He'll go. He will get past the 35. Aggies move the chains. Dorsey going it. LaBelle, it's knocked away. 2nd and 10 now. The Aggies have all the momentum, about to go up by 3 scores before halftime. There's the throw. Johns, and it's intercepted again. Dorsey with his 2nd straight 2-pick game. Here we are on 4th and 1. We'll punt it away. First and 10 now. Here's the give. Biggers, nice move. It'll be 4 yards for Raphael Biggers. Speaking of bad run game, their running back is 10 carries for 18 yards today. Dorsey evading pressure and scrambling. It's a first down for Don Dorsey. 5 carries, 26 yards today. For the Heisman Trophy win. Really lob it up to the end zone. Touchdown. Really love it. In for the score. We just got a pick. Tevin Winston with an insane play as Texas A&M leading 21-0. Georgia beat Oklahoma State 41-0. Oh my God. Don Dorsey, what a move. Now he's off to the races. The quarterback still making moves. Down to the 19. Dorsey doing things with his legs as well. And Texas A&M is just doing whatever they want on Georgia. The Bulldogs beat a top 10 opponent 41-0 on the road last week. And this week they might just go down 28-0 here to start. They were neck and neck with us for almost 2 quarters, but then we clearly broke through. As Biggers won't get the first down there, it's 3rd and inches. That'd be a bad decision for the ball here, but I'll just go to Biggers through the air. Raphael Biggers makes the grab down to the 6. Dorsey connects with his running back. And he's continuing to move down the field. Here's the give. Anthrop. Cornell Anthrop reaching for the end zone. Touchdown, Aggies. It's a 6-yard touchdown run for Anthrop, and Texas A&M leads 28-0 on Georgia. The Dogs finally score. It's 28-3 right now. What is happening? Some man asked. Oh my goodness, Johns is open. There's a dime. That was an insane pass. Not Earl Shaw, still second Earl Shaw. Don Dorsey steps up in the pocket and delivers a 68-yard touchdown to Reggie Johns to make it a 35-3 lead over Georgia. Dorsey, motion. Here's Johns. Cuts it upfield and he will lose a yard. Good pass. Caleb Johnson, the left end, brings him down. Here's the give. Anthrop having the game of his life. Cornell Anthrop with a nice game. Never forget when he was kind of the main guy 2 years ago in the conference championship game. Maniaka, younger Maniaka, went down with an injury. Biggers moving the chains for a first down. Raphael Biggers doing his thing. There's the throw and drop. Makes the catch, no gain. Second and 10, Dorsey rolling out. They'll scramble as the quarterback diving for the end zone touchdown. And he'll hit the Heisman pose as he goes into the end zone, 42-3. Georgia finally scores. It's 42-10. As the Dogs are in the end zone for the first time today. Dorsey scrambling again, having the best game of his career on the ground. 8 carries, 81 yards. Dorsey hands it off. Biggers, Raphael Biggers to the outside. Biggers breaks the tackle, and it's a huge gain. It's a 22-yard pickup for Raphael Biggers. The Aggies move the chains. Here they'll give it back to him. Biggers. Nice move on the play. Second and 2. Play action. Throwing it to the end zone. It's a dart. Really love it with the score. And Texas A&M, who's going to stop them? They're beating Georgia 49-10. They're quite literally crushing the Bulldogs right now. As they have it back with 4 minutes to play, here's the give. It's Clemens. Then Clemens will lose the ball. Aggies will begin to chew clock. Here's the give. Clemens loses yardage again. Less than 3 minutes to play. This game is over. As that one is dropped by LaBelle, 4 for 15. We're just going to run it with Ben Clemens here. Oh my God, he lost yardage again. Ben Clemens just had the worst 3-yard showing ever. -1, -4, -4. We get it back with 1:39 to play. Chance for Ben Clemens to redeem himself after 3 carries for -9 yards. Here he'll go for 6. Second and 4, minutes to play. Georgia still with all 3 timeouts. This game is over though. Anthrop will lose a yard. 3rd and 5. There's the throw. Johns makes the grab, short of the first down. And this game's over. Aggies win 49-10 over the Bulldogs in the Cotton Bowl. They head on to the Final Four. John Dorsey with another 6 or 7 passing touchdowns. And a rushing score as well. Oh my God, we already broke all those records. Who cares? We have more yards and stuff than Joe Burrow. And we head to the semis. 71 passing touchdowns on the year for Don Dorsey. Hello. Oh my God. That's insane. Here we'll be against Oregon. The Ducks beat Michigan. They get their revenge. And they are headed to the semifinals. Oregon in a close one over Michigan. We crush Georgia. Clemson comes out. And then Duke crushes Penn State. Penn State has a problem with North Carolina schools, I guess. So Oregon and Texas A&M will play the winner of Clemson and Duke. Here we are against Oregon. The Ducks are the only team that stands in our way in going to the national championship. We played Oregon back in year 1. The Ducks were the eventual national champions. We played them in the Rose Bowl. Here, we will play them in the Sugar Bowl. 2nd and 10 because I didn't know we were on offense. Dorsey snapping it. Looking for Lovett. It's dropped. 3rd and 10. The Ducks in those nice throwback greens. Dorsey snapping it. Throwing. Miles is wide open. Celeste Miles down the field, the tight end with the biggest catch of his season. It's a 33-yard gain. As Dorsey is able to connect. Dorsey giving it Biggers. Biggers will lose 3. Antonio Briggs brought him down. Biggers gets the carry. Maybe a 6-yard gain for Raphael Biggers. He now has over 600 rushing yards this season. Dorsey snapping. The throw, it's caught by Lovett. Really Lovett moves the chains for a first down, Aggies. Now Dorsey will snap. Feeling the pressure. Miles is open again. Celeste Miles in stride and inside the 10. At the 7. Texas A&M. Here's the give. Biggers. Raphael Biggers reaching forward down to the 1. Don Dorsey lines up under center. He will sneak it in for the score. As Don Dorsey with another touchdown. He's got over 80 total this year. 71 passing and like 12 left. Dorsey scrambled. He'll take the check down for Biggers. Nice spin move. Raphael Biggers was off to the races. As now Dorsey snapping. The throw, it's Johns. Johns got bullied after just a 2-yard gain. Deontay Davis, one of the top freshmen last year, he was the only freshman who beat Earl Rochelle in the Freshman of the Year award. Now Earl Rochelle is at Minnesota going 3-9. We have Don Dorsey about to be 15-0. Dorsey, the give, it's Anthrop, will not get any. Daquan Walker with the tackle. Dorsey will snap it. Oh my God! Instant sack. 59, please. Please. Block. Now it's 3rd and 19. Dorsey hit as he throws. It'll be a 54-yard attempt for Jamie Sosa, who's hit from that twice this year. He'll do it again. Aggies lead 10-0 here near the end of the first quarter. We've dominated everything, including time of possession. Here's the snap. Dorsey rolling out. Doesn't like it. Now he'll throw. It is hit away from LaBelle. He struggles to make those one-on-one catches. I don't know why. He's 6'5". But the dude is massive. Here's a throw. It is picked off. So Dorsey's thrown a lot of interceptions here in the playoff. Doesn't matter because he still goes out there and throws 7 touchdowns a game. As the Aggies now on their own 3, needing to get out of safety territory. The give for Kiki Alati. He's so slow. Olave will pick up 6 on the play. That might just be the longest carry of his career. Here's the gift for Ben Clemens. He'll move the chains. 1st and 10 for the Aggies.
That's good for Fighting Texas Aggies.
Dorsey once again under pressure. He'll have to throw it away. Don is just 6 of 12 today. Here we go. The throw for Johns. It's on the dime. 1st down Aggies. Don Dorsey able to fit it in there to Reggie Johns. Very scary throw to make, but he made it. Here's the give, Ben Clemens. Clemens, nice move. Oh no, that's Anthrop. Cornell Anthrop with a nice move. It's a 4-yard gain. Now on 2nd and 6. Give it back to him. Cornell, nice move. Cornell Anthrop off to the races. Only had one man to beat. He got tackled. But Cornell Anthrop, here late in the season, conference championship game, college football playoff. He's starting to come along after a horrible regular season in which Raphael Biggers just looked better in every facet. So Anthrop became the clear running back 3, despite being the number 2 guy last year behind him on the outside. Here's the give. Anthrop will get just 1. Well, I mean, Ryden was number 2, so he's still the number. But 2 guys passed him up. Oh yeah, I wonder where DeAndre Ryden went. Here's the throw. Miles makes the grab. It'll be 4th and 1. We'll kick the field goal to go up by 13. And Oregon still can't do a thing. Our defense playing its best it's ever been here against the top teams in the country in the college football playoffs. I'm not going to question it. Also, their superstar running back, Kelvin Missouri, 5 carries for 8 yards. That's horrible. Here's the throw. LaBelle, oh my God. 4th and 7, it's a 53-yarder. Jamie Sosa playing like the MVP of the day. He's got 2 kicks from over 50. As now it is 2nd and inches. Please. That was stupid. We lose 2 yards. Frederick Hill with the TFL. And we will go to the 2-minute mark. Texas A&M leads 16-0 over Oregon. Here late in the 2nd quarter. The give, Anthrop. Looks like it might have been a free play.
Offside.
It is offside against the Ducks. Yeah, I'm declining. He had a good run. 1st and 10, Dorsey snapping it. Throwing, it's caught by Johns. Reggie Johns with a nice speed boost as he picks up the 1st down, moving the chains. Dorsey stepping up, rolling up. And he's sacked for a huge loss. That was genuinely awful. Now Dorsey got a pancake block from Clemens. Now he'll throw, and it's too low for Reggie Johns. Just want to run the ball here, Clemens. See if we can't get like a huge chunk gain. Might. Ben Clemens had a nice move and picked up 7. We'll punt it away now. As the Ducks, who have been a great running team this entire series, with just -1 yards rushing. I say that, and they get an instant touchdown. Now the Aggies back on offense, up by 9. Snapping it. The throw is caught by LaBelle. It gets rocked. My goodness. Only a 6-yard gain. This Duck defense is incredible. As we've seen, and they're scoring 16 points on it. Here's the give. Clemens with a nice move, and he picks up the 1st. Timeout Aggies with 5 seconds to play in the half. Maybe time for 2 more plays, but likely this is the last one. Go down, timeout. Awesome. It's a 65-yard field goal from here. You can't go for that. You might throw a Hail Mary, but I'm also just going to put Max LaBelle in slot. That was nice. So we go to halftime. Aggies 16, Ducks 7. Oregon working their way down the field, but it's not going to work out. As we take back over, it's 1st and 10. John Dorsey not having a great game. Here's the throw. It's Clemens making the grab. Now on 2nd and 5, the give. Clemens stops and then gets dropped. It's a loss of 2 on the play. Desmond Adams, the thumping strong safety, with the tackle. Now Dorsey rolling out, throwing. It is on the dime for Reggie Johns, but Afa O, the defender, was able to jar it away. Now the Ducks score and are within 2. Oregon finally seems to have figured out this Aggie super team. And man, yeah, look at this. They've got 4 sacks tonight. Femi Littlejohn brings him down. Here on 2nd and 15, the Aggies look lost. Clemens with a nice 7-yard gain, bringing it back to 3rd and somewhat manageable. There's the throw. LaBelle, terrible throw. It's behind him. He'll reach for the first and he won't get it. 4th and 1. The Aggies say leave him out there. Lovett beat him. And with the stutter step, he's going all the way. Touchdown Aggies. It's going to be 23-14. Texas A&M with the lead. Oregon moving back down the field. They will score. Make it 21-23. So now this game is extremely close once again. This is the closest game we've been in by far. LaBelle, though, just beat his man down the sideline with the grab, and he picks up the first. Inside the 30 at the 25, Dorsey pulls it on the read option. He gets blocked. It's only 7 yards. Dorsey to give. Clemens. Ben Clemens. He is pushed around to the 10-yard line. Texas A&M moves the chains. It's 1st and goal. Dorsey snapping. He will roll out. Throwing it into the ground. Nick Duggan Guardians a sack now with the pressure. Here's the give. Anthrop. Don't do much. Tyrone Tompkins, that's our best O-lineman, down with an injury. The throw. Caught. Nope. Dropped by Johns. It'll be another field goal attempt for the Aggies. Make it 26-21. This is the closest game we've played in yet. Oregon moving down the field with ease. They convert on 4th again, and they take the lead. I believe that's like the first time in a long time that the Aggies have been down. Dorsey launching a missile from Miles. He'll make the grab. All we need to do is kick a field goal to win this game. No hurry whatsoever for us. We just can't turn the ball over. Let's do what we do here. It's caught by LaBelle, though. Down inside the 10. Texas A&M moving the ball with ease. Here's the snap. The throw, it's Johns. Makes the grab. Down to the 4. Moving quickly are the Aggies. Dorsey The give, it's Anthrop gets blown up, loss of 3. 3rd and 7. If I kick a field goal here, I do not feel safe. I need a touchdown. Dorsey screaming it for Clemens. No blocking whatsoever. And the Aggies will have to settle for 3. Oh my God. We just got a pick. Tevin Winston with the biggest play of our season. Aggies up by 2 with the ball in the red zone. Dorsey pulls it on the read option. The Ducks have come all the way back. We were up 16-0. And they took a 27-26 lead. We are now up by 2. Here's Clemens to the outside. Daquan Walker is hurt. It's 3rd and 7. Their defense is so good. I'm quickly figuring that out. Here's Miles. Over the middle, it's caught. Touchdown, Aggies. $1.15 today for Celeste Miles, who's having the game of his life. We're now up by multiple scores. Oregon will get nothing. Alex Opplinger, the transfer from USF, knocks away the pass on 4th down, and we will just run it with Ben Clemens, the transfer from Houston, who was a 3-star recruit just 2 years ago. Not much left in the tank for Oregon. There's the throw, it's Lovett. He'll get tackled inbounds. Final timeout for the Ducks. And we will do a quarterback kneel to win the game. Texas A&M with their closest win of the year, 36-27. But we will go to the national championship, and we will play the winner of Duke against Clemson. Yeah, I know he set the... Oh, wow. A career receiving is crazy in 1 year. Alrighty then. We are a perfect 15-0, trying to go 16-0, the second ever team to do that in college football history. Georgia is the only one right now, way back in the year 2027. And it is Clemson. We'll play the Tigers in the Natty. Clemson is the last team that stands in our way. They were in an overtime classic against Duke. And we'll play against them here for the national title. Don Dorsey with 73 passing touchdowns this year, 6,200 yards, and 11 rushing touchdowns. Willie Lovett with 2,200 yards and 27 receiving scores. 1,800 for LaBelle with 20. Johns with 1,000 with 15 receiving scores. He is leaving for the NFL after this year, probably. But we will play Clemson. For all the marbles, Texas A&M and Clemson in the national title game. Julian Lewis is still in college. Against the odds, he was going to declare after just his 3rd year at Colorado. Transferred to Alabama, where he didn't get a chance until George Yancey got hurt. Didn't play well. Goes to Clemson, and while he looked okay in the regular season, was not at all better than he was at Colorado. Didn't improve his draft stock. Well, he certainly has now, leading his team to the national title game against the greatest offense in college football history, the 2029 Texas A&M Aggies. We're in the Natty, trying to finish things and close the story with these 2 one-year wonders of Willie Lovett and Don Dorsey, 2 transfers that we spent a ton of money on in the offseason. And you got to think, what would this team have done with Earl Rochelle? still young, former 5-star Rochelle, if he had never been caught taking performance-enhancing drugs, being kicked off the roster in favor of the best quarterback in the country, who was paid lots of money. He expressed his discontent with Ohio State's offensive line last year. Here's Miles, who's become a different animal the past 2 games. Celeste Miles was an afterthought in our offense this season. Worse than he was the last 2 years at tight end. Now he's one of our best pass catchers. A $1.15 in the last game. This week he's been great. But one of the players we're going to have to look out for most on Clemson is Jeff Overton. 28 rushing touchdowns in the regular season. It's just insane. Here's a quick pass to Johns. Reggie Johns moving the chains. As Dorsey and the Aggies trying to lead their squad and complete what's been a national title deserving season. Dorsey, the Heisman winner, inside the 10 at the 8. It's a 20-yard gain for Don Dorsey. He now snaps it. He'll throw. It's caught by Biggers. Touchdown. Raphael Biggers scores the first touchdown of the national title game here in Hard Rock Stadium. Julian Lewis and company, they miss a 52-yard field goal. Now Biggers on the field. Rafael Biggers gets just 2. Dylan Sheeney on the tackle. With the snap, Dorsey rolling out. He likes Lovett here. Lovett catches it in stride. Juke move inside the 35. Texas A&M quickly separating themselves here in the alternate white helmets. Clemson's 13-2, ranked number 3 in the country. A&M 15-0, number 1. Over the preseason number 1 team, mainly off their 2 off-season acquisitions. Lovett and Dorsey will become the 2 possibly 2 greatest college football players of all time. Dorsey, 3rd and 2. They'll give it to Biggers. Raphael Biggers gets to the outside. Raphael Biggers, from an absolute nobody, even up until this offseason, to scoring 2 touchdowns in the first quarter of the national title game. Aggies lead 14-0. A lot of the national championships over the last few years have been really close. This one, not so much so far. There's an incompletion. A miscommunication between Dorsey and the running back, who's been cast aside with the success of Raphael Biggers. Here's the throw. Dorsey got rocked as he was trying to get it to Johns. Brings up a huge 3rd and 10. Both Clemens and Biggers in here. Clemens gets the catch out of the backfield. It's 4th and 1. Big decision. I'd say there's no reason we don't punt here. From midfield, our defense has been incredible this entire postseason. Might as well trust our guys and not give them good field position as they get it on 4th and goal. Clemson within 7. It's 14-7. With the throw on the run. It's caught by Johns. Reggie Johns. 6 yards for our shifty, short yardage slot receiver. 2nd and 4. Dorsey blocks hold. He'll scramble. 1st down and more. Takes a hit. And he's inside the 50. Here in January of 2030, the new decade has begun. And that one is almost caught by Love. I thought he lost the receiver there. He did not. Here it'll be 2nd and 10 for Dorsey. Here's the give. Biggers. Raphael Biggers reaching. It's a 9-yard gain. Here's the throw. Love it. It's knocked away. It'll be 4th and 1. I trust my kicker, Jamie Sosa, for a 53-yarder. He's hit that several times just in this postseason. He'll do it again. And Clemson now within 3. The Tigers and Julian Lewis looking the part to compete for a title. They looked lost the first quarter. Now in the second, they're starting to make an effort to come back. Dorsey flips it to Biggers, but that was dangerous. Got knocked away by Dakota Beebe, the big D tackle. 2nd and 10. Dorsey really needs to lock in. He gets it to LaBelle, but LaBelle can't hold on. Max LaBelle's been really disappointing this postseason. He's made some, I've seen him not make some catches that he should be making. Here's off the back foot to Miles, incomplete. We'll punt it back to the Tigers, only leading by 3. Julian converts on a big 3rd down. Here on 4th, they'll tie it up at 17. It's been all Clemson here in the second quarter as we got a tie game. We played against some great squads here late in the season. There's the throw. Miles gets decked, but he caught it. It's 2nd and 8. Dorsey only 8 of 16 passing. Will throw. Johns makes the grab in stride. Reggie Johns out of bounds at the 32 with a minute left in the half. The Aggies trying to get at least a field goal lead before half is up. Here will scramble. Oh my. The throw. Johns makes the grab. Breaks the tackle. Juke move. Get out of bounds. He's not out of bounds. Who cares? Up-tempo offense. Reggie Johns doing his thing. Clemson sent a blitz on that play. Super aggressive call by, who's their coach? Is it Brian Kelly? Yeah, they have Brian Kelly. Yeah, Coach Kelly finally making his way to the big game. Uh-oh. Dorsey's in trouble. Here he'll throw to the end zone, and it's knocked away. 3rd and 7 for Dorsey. At the 10, 41 seconds to play in half. The throw. Johns reaching at the 1. Time to quarterback sneak it in with less than 30 seconds left in the half. We have 2 timeouts, 4 chances for 1 yard. They'll do it on the first try. Texas A&M in the lead. It'll be 24-17. As we get it here, out of halftime, after Clemson does nothing, 1st and 10, instant red zone possession for the Aggies at the 17. RPO, it's caught by Lovett. Lovett will get 9, down to 8. The Aggies doing their best to put this game in full control. Great pancake by the tackle, and Biggers is in for the hat trick. Raphael Biggers from bench warmer to national championship hat trick performance, and we're only in the mid-3rd quarter. What a story for our top player at our weakest position, running back, trying to fill the shoes of the reigning Heisman Trophy winner, Monty Alba, and weirdly enough, doing it. There's a throw. It's picked off. Dorsey's throw is intercepted by Clemson. Jalen Trapp with the pick. The Tigers will turn it into a field goal. Here's Dorsey snapping the ball. On the run, it's caught by Biggers. A small gain of 5 for Raphael Biggers. Now on 2nd and 5. Aggies up 31-20. It's the give for Johns. Johns to the outside. He will get 4. It's now 31. Short yardage situation as Kiki Aladi comes in the game. The slowest running back to ever grace the planet, but he's big at 5'11", 221. Aladi, the former 4-star, able to move the chains. That's 1st and 10. Here's the give for Ben Clemens. Clemens, nice move. Nearing midfield at the 48. It's a big game for Ben Clemens. the snap. Dorsey. Throw. Incomplete. Intended for Lovett. Second and 10. Dorsey snapping it. Here's the catch is made by Clemens out of the backfield. He'll get 5. Here's the throw for LaBelle. Picked off again. We'll get a nice tackle inside the 10, but Dorsey making some interceptions here. Maybe NFL teams are going to note that down. He's still a shoo-in for the number 1 pick. He could throw 5 more picks in this game and still be the number 1 pick. Dorsey to give for Clemens. I think this game was good. I want to see what they can do without him. Yeah, they're doing great. Oh my God. Oh my goodness. 44-20. And your final score, 44-26. Texas A&M are national champions. For the first time in nearly 100 years, it's 2030. And the Aggies are the champions of the 2021 season. Off the back of their Heisman winner, Don Dorsey. Second straight season in which a player from Texas A&M has won the Heisman. And they also had the runner-up, wide receiver Willie Lovett, as well as the 4th place guy, wide receiver Max LaBelle. Both those guys will be taken inside the top 5 picks. And we're national champions. With that, I think that's going to do it. Oh my gosh, what a season. 74 touchdowns. You got Biggers, Clemens. Oh my gosh, he had 12 rushing scores as well. That's insane. Lovett and LaBelle and Johns, all with great years. We'll go to the players leaving stage where I'll make the top quarterbacks in the draft. And then I'll do the off season, and we'll be back at a later date. Oh my gosh, Tripucka was back. Tripucka played that week. That's insane. Rafael Biggers is the national championship MVP. The college football playoff MVP goes to, of course, Don Dorsey. Taking a look at the college football history update. We're national champions. We haven't had a back-to-back champion yet. We haven't even had a team make it to the game 2 years in a row yet. Conference champions are here. The Heisman Trophy, you see Dorsey and Amani Ogba. So we've had actually 2 times and now that a certain school has had back-to-back Heisman winners with Jeremiah Smith and Dylan Raiola in 2026 and 27 for Ohio State, and now 2028 and 2029 for Texas A&M. You saw that in earlier years as well, in 2020 and 21 with Bryce Young, 17 and 18 with Mayfield and Murray. And then before that in 2004 and 5 with Leinart and Bush. The Unitas goes to Bryce Baker. We already looked at all this. Taking a look at the staff moves. Emmett Tobin, the head coach at Toledo, is the new North Carolina offensive coordinator. Either way, big moves. Eric Morris, the air raid genius for North Texas, a team that just made the playoff, went to Iowa State. Lamar Davis, a coach for a very solid UAB team, is coaching at Miami. Jim Knowles, the DC of Penn State, goes to Virginia Tech. Ty Davidson, the former OC of Toledo, goes to be the head coach at Temple. Aaron Watson, the former head coach at Temple, is going to be coaching Earl Rochelle. Oops. Lance Leipold retired from coaching at Virginia Tech. Matt Rhule is the new head coach at Connecticut. Luke Fickell got fired at Minnesota. He'll go to Purdue. Just jumping around. Hugh Freeze, same thing. He gets promoted to the Memphis job. Chris Creighton gets the job at Colorado. Where's Dion? Jeff Lebby got fired. He's at UTSA now. Venables. Mike Shanahan goes to Toledo. Where is Dion? Oh my God, he's the offensive coordinator at TCU. Holy cow, that's insane. All right, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. See you. Actually, wait a minute. I haven't even gone to where I said I was going to go. Sorry about that. We will hit the players leaving stage and see who really wants to transfer. All right, we'll go position by position. Quarterback, Ginn is coming back. Dorsey, yeah, he's not coming back, obviously. He's going to be the number 1 pick. Receiver, no chance for Lovett, no chance for LaBelle, no chance for Johns. Tompkins getting drafted. Still no sacks allowed. Yeah, he is a top pick. Edge rushers, Jamal Priest transferring. We'll see the decision on him. Simpson's getting drafted. Clarence Mayo transferring. Can he come back? No. He's gone. Marvin Cruikshank's going to get drafted. Nicholas Clayton, he's going to get drafted. Alex Opplinger's getting drafted, as is Rashad Johnson. Former 5-star Sam Eberle wants to leave. Come back? No, he's gone. Who else was it? Jamal Priest, come back? No, he's gone. And Ricky Hajrulahu, the freshman playing time, is gone. Reggie Jones will just waste it. LaBelle. And yeah, that's it. Everyone is leaving. Very sad to see. Holy, Tennessee losing all their players. Yep, I knew David Bardell would be transferring. This is a guy we might go after. But also, I think it might be just Gregory Ginn's season. Either way, goodbye, guys.